Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been forever since I have recorded and actually sat down to film a video. I have been missing it so much. So today's video is going to be a Q&A and a kind of get ready with me, kind of teaching you guys how to do a simple eye look. I know this doesn't look simple, but this is pretty simple for makeup looks that I have done in the past. But I get so many questions on how to just do eyeshadow in general and how to make your looks look so blended and just things like that. So it's going to be kind of a Q&A mixed with a tips and get ready with me. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I try to get videos up. I know I'm terrible at it, but I am really gonna try and just get back into the groove of things and start posting more videos. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that little post notification bell. That way you guys are notified of all of my future upload videos. If you guys want to see how I got this beautiful look and get to know me a little bit more, then keep on watching. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start by pulling my hair back, and I'm just gonna take this rhinestoned headband kind of thing and just kind of pull my hair back a little bit just to kind of get it out of my eyes. I know my hair is a mess, don't look at it. I'm in the process of going back blonde, so we gotta go through that orange phase, and we all know how hideous that is. All right, the first thing that I'm gonna do is prime. You always want to prime. But basically the trick to keeping your makeup on all day and having it stay and not slide or rub off or anything like that is to prime your face. And I've really been liking the Milk Hydro Primer. This is the Grip Primer. You probably have seen this in a couple of my videos. I just really like it. I do have oily skin, but I do like the look of having a very hydrated face. So I just use hydrating primers. Really, sometimes I'll use a pore filling primer or a mattifying primer, but I really like the way that this one kind of grips the foundation and really gets it to stick to your face. So that is the one I'll be using today. Excuse a lot of my redness. I am breaking out more on my neck, in this area where my mask sits. I've been really trying to clear it out. I have been on quarantine for the past 2 weeks, so I don't know why it's still all crazy down here, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna be using, I haven't decided what foundation I wanna use today, but I think I'm gonna use a mixture of two. So I've mentioned this one before, but I never really got to get a full review on it. So this is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and then I'm going to be mixing it with one of my absolute favorites, which is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. So if you can't tell, these are completely two different shades. This one's a lot darker and this one's super light. I bought this one's way too light for my skin, and then this one's too dark. So I'm hoping if I mix them together, it'll kind of even it out and work a little bit better. So yeah, I absolutely love this one. This one's in the shade 102 Fair Porcelain. I know I'm white, but I didn't think I was that pale. I don't know if the light just makes it look 10 times worse, but yeah. So we're just gonna put half and half. So I put a little bit on my hand, and then I'm gonna do a couple pumps of the NARS, and then I'm just gonna go in with a sponge. My sponges are so gross and dirty. I really need to clean them. And I'm just going to mix this in on my hand. So we'll see if it works. Hopefully it's not too different. Oh, I really like the way this looks so far. It's okay. It's a little bit different on my skin, but we'll lighten it up with some concealer. But for part of this video, I did want to do a Q&A. I did do one of those poll things on Instagram, asking you guys to ask me some questions that you guys have wanted to ask me. I said whether it's personal, beauty related, things like that. So I did do a little poll and I actually had a decent amount of responses. I don't know if it was just because it was like private and people felt more comfortable asking me, but I've never had this many people ask me like questions before. So I figured I would kind of film like a Q&A and just answer some questions that you guys had for me. Tell this is a little bit more on the yellow side, and I want to say it's from this foundation, which is surprising because this is in the shade Fiji, which I'm pretty sure when I bought it I did not get a yellow undertone, because I know I'm not yellow, but that's okay. But yeah, so I had many people ask me different questions, and I just felt that it would work best in a video, kind of showing you guys a makeup routine, but also answering some of your questions. I have my phone right here, so I'm actually gonna pull up the questions that you guys had asked. I'm pretty sure I did a little like question thing on Facebook, but not a lot of people answered to it. So I did it on Instagram and a lot more people answered to it. And I think it's because it was like anonymous and, well, not anonymous, but like other people can't see it. Except for me. This was a couple days ago, so let me look. First question, I'm not gonna say who they're from just for privacy reasons, because I know a lot of these are people that like I actually know or live around, so I'm gonna just do this for privacy reasons. But the first question is, what got you started into makeup? I love watching your videos, keep going with them. Well, thank you. What got me started into makeup? I've always loved doing my makeup. Growing up, I've always been a girly girl. That's just everything that I've always been into. You can literally ask my parents. They said that when I was younger, I used to come down in like high heels, like outside in my bathing suit and little high heels, and put a little blanket or a little towel on the grass and lay out in the sun, and like I was just that girly girl, and I've always loved dressing up. I've always loved putting makeup on. I don't know, it's just something that I've always loved to do, and I don't know like if it's because I've always watched my mom do it. I've always watched so many like YouTube videos of it, and I don't know, it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. And I wouldn't say I'm really good at it. I like to think that I know what I'm doing when it comes to applying makeup and like doing my hair and stuff. And I did go to cosmetology school, so I kind of got a little bit more experience with that. But I don't know, I've just always enjoyed playing with makeup. I like creating different looks, and I don't know, I don't know if it's, I just grew up around my mom wearing makeup a lot and just like the way it looked. I don't know, but I've just always liked doing it, and it's kind of stuck with me, and that's why I like kind of want to show you guys like my skills and like my ways of doing makeup, and maybe, you know, it'll help other people that are just beginning or whatever it may be. I've always loved it. I've always grown up with it and loved doing it, so it's not like one day I just decided to do it. I've just always really enjoyed doing it. I'm gonna put some concealer under my eyes. And this is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. By the way, I always like to use a sponge. Sponges are like my best friend. I feel like that's the only way that I'll be able to get like a natural looking finish. I'm not a huge fan of brushes. I feel like they kind of leave streaks all over my face. But if you're looking for like a more natural looking like application, I really suggest using a sponge, and then just pat it into the skin. Don't pull on it because it's going to look more like you applied it with a brush, and you're gonna have streaks where you did pull at your skin. And just pat into the skin, and you're just gonna do the same for this eye and just pat that in. So I'm gonna grab another question. So I did get some doubles, so I'm gonna try and like answer some of the ones that I got doubles on. So here's actually one. It's a, did you not go to nursing school? I remember you saying that you went to school when you first graduated high school. So I did not finish nursing school. I actually am like contemplating going back to school. I have always wanted to become a nurse. It was what I wanted to do when I first graduated high school. It's just something that I've always really wanted to do. I love working with people. I keep saying a lot. So I actually work at a pediatric office right now, and I am a med tech, and I feel like it's really like helped me get a foot in the door and really start working with people and working in the medical field and that career. And it's really made me feel like this is exactly what I wanted to do and this is what I was meant to do. I love working with people, specifically kids. Like, I never thought that I would actually work in pediatrics, but now working at a pediatric office, I've just really loved it. And I don't know if it's just bringing a smile to kids' faces or what it may be, but like just trying to understand how they feel and like being there to help them and to make them feel better is like the most, but like the best thing that you could possibly ask for in a job. And I don't even feel like I'm working sometimes because I feel like I'm just there to like help some kids. And I don't know, I hate going so sappy into these things, but that's just truly how I feel. And I just feel that it's really put into perspective what I've really wanted to do. Go to cosmetology school. So obviously I have a certificate in that. Like, I have my cosmetology license, and it's what I thought I wanted to do. Like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love doing hair on the side. Like, I still do it. I still do my mom's, I still do my grandma's, I'll do my friends every so often, but like I don't do it like in a salon like I did before. And I don't think I'll ever work in a salon or anything like that. But I definitely think I want to go back to school to finish becoming a nurse. I did get a lot of my prereqs done, so that kind of helped me as well. So if I did go back, I'm hoping and praying that my prereqs still are standing. I know they kind of can expire after a couple years, so I'm hoping that they didn't and I don't have to retake them, because I felt like that would have been money down the drain. But again, that was my decision at the time to not continue with it, so yeah. But yes, I did not graduate from nursing school, but I do plan on eventually going back. Right, so I just went in with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Just looks like this. So what I did was I just took a little tiny brush, wherever I just put it, and I went in under my eyes, and I just kind of set underneath my eyes. I try to set where I put my concealer first, and then I take a big fluffy brush and kind of just wipe away the extra, but put it all on the rest of my face. You always want to set where you put your concealer so that it doesn't get cakey, it doesn't crease throughout the day, and it just kind of melts and sets into that concealer, so it looks really flawless and super smooth. So the next thing that I'm going to do is probably bronze. So I'm gonna start with my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and it just looks something like this. This really doesn't look too much different than my face, but we're gonna make it work. So I'm gonna go in with the I don't even know what number this is. This is the BH Cosmetics number 2 brush. Just looks something like this, and I'm just gonna pat it into my thing, and I'm gonna just start to bronze. And I'm actually gonna use a couple of different bronzers that I have to start deepening it up. Deepen it up. I can't speak. And just kind of follow the outsides and bring it down your neck. And do the same thing on the outside on this side. So bronzer is really meant to kind of help tan up your face a little bit, kind of show the little shadows that would usually be on your face. But it really helps too to slim down your face and kind of show where you're about to contour. So I just kind of focus, like I said, on the outsides of my face. And then I'm gonna go in with a different palette that I have. This is the Park Ave Princess palette by Tarte. And it looks something like this. So it has like a whole bunch of different bronzers and highlighters in this palette. And if you can't tell, like I'm like obsessed with these ones. And I'm just gonna kind of like tap into each of them, and I'm gonna go right over where I put that other bronzer. And that's just gonna help deepen up what you already put down. Just like that. And like I said, I just kind of go like this, like, and just dab into all three of them. And then you just want to lightly brush over your face. Like the trick, I feel like, with a lot of makeup looks is how light you hold your brush. And I feel like a lot of people feel like you have to like dig into your face when you're applying like bronzers and blushes and stuff like that, and it's not. It's all about actually like really lightly blending it into your face and really just focusing on like application. I feel like that is like the biggest thing, is application. And then I'm gonna go in with my big fluffy brush that I had before, and I'm just gonna kind of buff it out so that it's a lot more smoother. And I kind of felt like, I know this is so old and cliche, but I feel like it works for me too, is I kind of follow the 3 on your face. So you're gonna start at your temples, kind of blend in down to your cheek. So there's the C, and then your 3 is down your neck into, just like down into your neck. So just kind of blend like that. Super simple. It's a lot of it is just blending. Just keep blending until you can't blend anymore. So next question. What helps you when you're experiencing a panic attack? That's a good question, actually. I'm still kind of learning and trying to figure out what works for me. But let's see. I guess when I feel like I'm starting to get anxious and when I'm starting to get into a panic attack, I try to distract myself. Whether it's pulling my phone out, whether it's reading a book, whether it's turning on my favorite show, whatever it may be, I try to distract myself so that I'm not thinking about what is making me anxious and what's giving me that panic attack. So a lot of the times I pull out my phone, and I know that's like not the best thing to do because I get a lot of people saying that that's probably contributing to my anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Like, it may be, but at the same time, it really helps me in my anxiety. I don't know, I love looking on, like, I don't know, like looking at my pictures. I look at old pictures of me being on cruises and vacations that I used to go on. I look at pictures of my son. I look at things that are gonna make me happy and are really just gonna distract me and get my mind off whatever is bringing me down at that time. But I don't know, I look at things that you usually or generally bring me joy and happiness, and usually that will kind of calm me down. I'm actually on medication for anxiety, and this is something that's actually been kind of hard for me. I have always been opposed to being on a medication. It's just something that I have always, not that I didn't want to be on it, I've been on it once and I did not like the way that it made me feel. And so ever since then, I just kind of like thought, oh, it's not for me, it doesn't work. But little do I know, like, I wasn't a doctor, I'm not a doctor, still not a doctor, but like, I don't know much about medications. But now, like, really being an adult and really like thinking about it, I've been like, okay, you know, like, it's a trial and error thing. Like, you know, not every medication works for everybody, and one may not work for you but may work for somebody else. So like, me thinking about that, I'm like, okay, so it worked for somebody else, like it should work for me, which isn't the case. So I was off medications for 5 years, and I actually just recently started back on them, like within the past couple weeks. So like I'm still in the process of trying to get it into my system. So I'm really hoping and praying that it really works for me and really helps with my anxiety and helps me just be less anxious, I guess. So I just went in with my blush. This is the MAC blush in the shade Melba, and I just patted that right into the apples of my cheeks, right into where that bronzer was on both sides. And then I did forget to contour my nose, so I did go back in with the Park Ave Princess palette and just took this little like flat brush that looks like this, and I just carved out my nose. If you want a smaller, slimmer looking nose, that is the trick to doing it. You just take a little flat brush like this and just contour out right in here, and just however slim that you want it to look. All right, so next I'm gonna go in with highlighter. I'm still obsessed with this BH Cosmetics Blushing in Bali palette, and it just looks like this. It's got 3 highlight shades and then 3 blush colors. And I am just gonna go in with this like tiny little brush like this. And I, if you can't tell, I've already hit pan. I've been obsessed with these two, and I just kind of mix them together. And then just put this on where you want it to be highlighted. So I just put it right on the tops of my cheekbones, like so. And like, look at that, super, super pigmented down the center of my nose. And then a little bit above my eyebrows. Like that. And just wherever you want to highlight. I love to highlight, so I just put highlighter everywhere. So did I answer that? So yeah, that's what helps me with a panic attack. But I just kind of try and distract myself, and yeah. All right, so next question is another question that I get a lot. This is actually from a lot of my friends, but do you and Jesse plan on having another kid? In the future, yes. Right now, no. We are just still trying to like accustom to having a kid. Like, we are obsessed with Grayson. Grayson is our life. Like, he is everything to us, and all our attention is on him right now, and we just don't have the space and like the time for another kid right now. And I know that sounds so bad, but like, we have so much going on in our lives that like adding another kid right now just isn't the best. I just don't feel like we're in a position to have another kid right now. But yes, we do want to have at least one more within the next couple of years. So the answer to that is yes, we do want another kid. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Precisely My brow pencil. This is my absolute favorite brow pencil, and this is in the shade 2.5. This is like a ashy blonde color, and I'm just going to outline the bottom of my eyebrow and just kind of flick it out when you get to the tail end, and do the same thing. I'm gonna go right over the top, and then once I kind of get into like the center, I'm going to use my brush that's like the little spoolie thing that's on the end of the pencil, and just kind of blend that into the inner part of my eyebrow. And this is what's gonna give you that like ombre effect, I guess, in a way. And I just kind of brush mine up a little bit so that it gives that appearance of being like kind of lifted, and just really blend it out like that. Super simple, nothing crazy that I do with my eyebrows. So I'm gonna do this eyebrow and I will be right back. Okay guys, so brows are on. They don't look perfect, but my eyebrows are never perfect. So if you ever think that they are, trust me, they're not. But yeah, so absolutely love this pencil. This is probably like the 10th one that I purchased from them. Again, it's just absolutely amazing. It's just so easy to use and it just glides on super easy. I do like that they just added a lot of different like shade colors, like the 0.5s and stuff like that. They never had those before, so those are like fairly new, at least within the past like couple of years since I've been buying it. But I absolutely love it. Super easy to use, and it doesn't like cake on super dark. Like it looks really nice. I don't know. I just really like it. We're gonna go in with eyeshadow. I was trying to think of like what kind of look I wanted to do today, but I've been really liking the Natasha Denona palette. So pretty. This has been like my go-to, like so nice. So I think I'm gonna make a look with this. Super matte, except for obviously this one shade up here, but I love these colors. These are like my go-to colors when I do want to do makeup, and like when I want to actually put eyeshadow on. These are my go-to colors. So yeah, we're gonna probably use this today. So what I'm gonna start off with is a eyeshadow primer, and this is the Pretty Vulgar one. So we're just going to squeeze a tiny little bit right on my eye, or on both eyes. And then I'm just gonna use my finger to blend that out. You don't have to use an eyeshadow primer. I'm telling you that right now, you don't have to, but if you want it to stay, I really highly recommend using an eyeshadow primer or concealer. Either one works just as good, and especially if you want them to stay on all day, you don't have to use an eyeshadow primer, but I really suggest using concealer if you don't have an eyeshadow primer. And just really blend that in with your finger. I rarely ever use my finger for anything, but I feel like for eyeshadow primers and stuff, that works like the absolute best. Okay, so what I'm gonna first do is I'm going to set that eyeshadow primer. Oops. And I'm just gonna go in with a more flat shader brush. And this is just the Morphe 208 brush, and I'm gonna go in with this really light shade right here, and I'm just going to pat that all over my lid just to set that. Now the trick to getting a very like a gradient look, I guess, is blending. I get a lot of questions on how to do different makeup looks and things like that. How do I get it to blend? The trick is just constantly blending. You feel like you've blended enough, keep going. Like there are times where I will sit with a makeup look and I'll be blending for like 10 minutes. If you really want it to look very like ombre effect, or however you want it to blend from your brow bone to your lid, like you have to blend. So while I do that, next question. I'm trying to think of what a question I asked. Yes, about the kids. Yes, we do want to have another kid within the next couple of years. Okay, so what are your and Jesse's goals within the next couple of years? So we're actually currently in the house or the home buying process. We actually have been looking at a couple of houses within the past couple weeks. And yeah, it's scary, but it's exciting. I have never been one to be into the whole home buying thing. Like I don't know, I've been renting for so long that like home buying is kind of like scary to me. But like I just never like could see myself getting a house, because like when I was younger, I always thought I was gonna be alone and single forever, and yeah, but obviously I'm not. But obviously like that was just my mindset. But yeah, we plan on getting a house within this year. The housing market right now is insane. It's definitely a seller's market over a buyer's market. That's for sure. But yeah, we plan on having a house, and then within the next couple of years after that is when we obviously plan on having another kid. And yeah, I'm hoping marriage is in our future. I, you know, definitely can tell you that we're hoping to be together for the rest of our lives. But yeah, as of right now, yeah, I plan on going back to school like I did mention. School is definitely in my future again. Once, obviously, Grayson gets a little bit older, maybe before we have another kid. Who knows? However, our timeline and whatever, however it wants to go, it will go. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have planned for the next couple of years. I don't know what Jesse's plans are, but I'm hoping they're right along with mine because my plans are great. Now I'm just going in with a little blending brush and I'm just blending in my crease color. This is the color, so the first color that I used, that light color, was called Aya, and now the color that I'm using is called Amara. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so now that I just blend that in, so see how I just kind of blended it into my brow bone? I just sat here and I'm just blending until it just seamlessly blends right into my skin, going up to my brow bone. So with the same brush, I'm gonna go in with this deeper color right here, and that color is called Jasper. So this more like ready. Guys, I can't talk today. That more red color. And I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to pack this into my lid, well, into my crease more, and just kind of work in like circular motions to build up the color that we already just put into my crease. And the trick to also getting that more like gradient effect is to bring it lower than where you put that other color. So like you're putting it in your crease still, but you're bringing it like a little bit lower, if that makes sense. So it's like such a small step. Like it's not like all the way down on your lid, but it's just a little bit lower than where you placed that other color. And you're just gonna work that in. And like I said, you're gonna bring it a little bit lower than where you had that other color. And just bring that in, just like that. So I'm gonna add a little bit more, just where I feel like it needs to be touched up a little bit. And just blend that in, like so. And just blend. So now that I got that into my crease, I'm gonna go in with a different fluffy brush that I'm going to use to blend. You can use any type of crease brush that you want, as long as she is big and fluffy. I'm gonna use this one. This one looks kind of fluffy. So I'm gonna go back in with this light color right here that we used to set my makeup with, or to set my primer with, I'm sorry. And I'm gonna go right over this like line that's right underneath my brow, and I'm gonna use that color to just kind of blend out that crease, or that like harsh line. And just use that to blend. Same thing on this eye, and just use this to just blend out that. Yeah, this is another thing that you don't want to apply a lot of pressure on. Like I was saying about the bronzer, a lot of pressure is gonna do a deeper color, especially if you're trying to make more gradient and you're trying to really like do light hand. You always want to have light pressure, and just blend that out just like that. Okay, so the next color I'm gonna go in with is this brown color that's right in the middle, and I'm gonna use this like more dense brush. So anytime you want a more like light effect, you want to go for brushes that are very like fluffy, I guess. And then if you want more of a packed on color, you're gonna go for more of a compact brush. So this is gonna give you a little bit more of a dense color. And I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of that. And then this, you're gonna just focus more in your outer corner. And you're gonna bring this just a little bit lower than where you had the other color, the last color that we used. And you're just gonna focus that right in that outer crease. Just to deepen it up, just a tiny bit. Same thing on this side. You're just gonna use that to deepen up that outer corner. And the trick also, when you're doing like these type of colors, you don't ever wanna lose your crease color. So I'm gonna go back in with my crease color in just a second, once I'm done applying my brown. So I'm gonna go back in with my big fluffy brush that I had. I'm gonna go back in with my little brush and just blend like that. Super, super pretty. So lastly, I'm gonna go in with my lid color, and I'm gonna go in with just this like little flat shader brush that I have. It's from Sephora, and I'm gonna go in with that really pretty sparkly color, and this color is called Shine. Could have guessed that. And then I'm just going to pat this all over my lid. Make sure that you're patting because it is a shimmer. So you're really gonna wanna make sure that you're packing on the color and not rubbing the color like off, if that makes sense. Like I said, a lot of blending. So just blend. So back in with our shader brush, or our blending brush, we're just going to blend. Very light hand blend. It's always like the circular motions too. You always want to work with the circular motions. Just blend it in like that. Another trick, if you're trying to get very vibrant like shimmers, if you feel like it's not like as vibrant as what you like kind of were thinking, if you take one of your setting powders or setting mist, this is just the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And I'm gonna take that brush that I was putting that shimmer on, and I'm just gonna spray it. So just spray, kind of shake it off for a second. And then if you go in and pick up that shimmer and then go to press it on, you're gonna notice how much more vibrant that shimmer is gonna be. Then I like to go in with a color on my lower lash line. You can go within whatever color that you want. I'm just gonna be using this Sephora brush. This is an angled shadow brush. So it looks something like this. Jesus. I'm gonna go in with this color and this color. And I'm just gonna put that right on the lower lash line. And just bring that right up to where that crease color is. So I think I have time for one more question. Let's see. Do you have any recommendations on books that you have been reading? By the way, I have anxiety too, so I completely understand what you are going through. Books. Okay, so I have read a couple books. And I'm not like super into books, so like it takes me a really long time to read, but I have been really trying to get back into reading a little bit. And I guess the one book that I feel like has really been helping me, that my cousin actually recommended for me, it's called I'm not gonna say it, but it's called like Un-F Yourself. But yeah, especially if you're going through like mental health, I really highly recommend that. I highly recommend You Are a Badass. That one is super, super good. But yeah, I really just recommend, if you're gonna read, make sure that you're reading something that's gonna help you. Because when I first started reading, I thought it meant just reading any type of book. So I was reading these like murder mystery books and like all these different things that just were not helping me in any way, shape, or form. But if it's something that you're into, go ahead, you know, read those and stuff like that. But I really highly suggest reading books that are gonna help with your mental health, basically. So mine are more kind of accepting what my body is, accepting what I'm going through is just gonna make me stronger in the end. Just like things like that. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is put on lashes. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of mascara on. This is just the L'Oreal Telescopic in Carbon Black. And I'm just going to place a little bit right on my lashes just to help them blend into my false lashes. You don't have to do false lashes. You guys can skip this step if you don't wear false lashes. You can just keep going with the mascara, but I personally like the look of false lashes, so I am going to put those on. But this is probably my absolute favorite mascara of all time. If you want very long and sorry, I got a little bit on my eye. If you want very long and voluminous lashes, I really highly recommend using this. I've had lash extensions, so like my lashes were really short for a little while, so I gave them a break, and really you wouldn't even be able to tell because this mascara makes my lashes look amazing. So I'm going to be using the Ardell Professional Double Up Wispies. These are my absolute favorite go-to. I actually just ordered these off of Amazon, so I was running very low, so I needed to just order a whole bunch, so I just ordered a 4-pack. These should last me a while, specifically because I don't go out in public anymore, so I don't really half the time put makeup on. I'm just gonna get some glue. I just use the Duo glue. Just looks something like this. And then I'm just gonna take my lashes. I do need tweezers. And you can kind of tell what is your outside lash and like what is your inside lash. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my glue. You can also trim your lashes. I don't ever trim my lashes just because I have very wide and like big eyes. So like I don't really have to trim mine. A lot of people do trim their lashes just so that they fit their eye shape a little bit better. Some people like to trim them just so that they can put them on the outside of their lashes. It's up to you. It's what you guys like to do. But this is what I like to do with mine. Okay guys, so lashes are on, and then all I'm gonna do is just go in with my mascara again and just do my lower lashes. I feel like that like fully completes the look. I really like the way that this eye look came out. I don't know how I did it, but I feel like it looks really, really good. Sometimes I do like to go in with a little bit of my highlighter that I use to highlight my face, and I'll just highlight my inner corner. So I'm gonna go in and just put a little bit of highlighter right on the inside of my eyeballs. Just to highlight it just a tiny bit. All right. So I am gonna go in with a lip gloss or lipstick. So I think this is the color that I'm gonna use today. This is from Vintage by Jessica Liebeskin. I don't even know how to pronounce that. But this is her cashmere lip pencil in the color Mocha. I'm gonna use this to just outline my lips. And for the top, I try not to go like excessive just because I have big lips as it is and I don't need to add in any more. So I usually just try and do like my Cupid's bow like that. And then I'm gonna go in with this Vivid Matte Liquid Lipstick from Maybelline. Looks just something like this. And I'm gonna that right over. Like that. And then I'm really big into like glosses and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go in with the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. And just put that right over that lipstick. Like that. Alright guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you really like the way that it came out. I'm actually really happy with how it came out. I haven't done my makeup in so long, so it feels like amazing to have like a full face of makeup on. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, please comment below. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.